we alive, George?
Good evening, everyone. Hope we're okay on this windy Monday again. I hope we all had a lovely weekend. I know I did, footballing reasons. So we'll chat about the LCL game in the windy city of Bromley, apparently. And then we'll look forward to the West Ham game. Let me introduce you to my guests. James, how you doing, mate? You were that good, we brought you back.
I was going to say twice in a row I must have done something.
Yeah,
Just a wee bit
get the
tired.
match ball. Get the match ball soon.
Just a wee bit tired for working the weekend's antics, but always happy to be here.
Yeah, nice one. And as you can see, Laura's back now. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you very much. I'm over my sickness bug and my visitors have gone back to London, so I'm back to a free house again. Thank God.
No. I want to know who behaved better, the dogs or Yaz?
It certainly wasn't Yaz after what she put in my face the other day.
We'll leave that one there. If we do an adult show one day, maybe then. But no, we'll leave that there. Cool. Ravi. Yeah, Ravi, great to have you back. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, all good. Just a bit of a rush to get here on time. So I think literally just jumped on this about a minute before you went live. But yeah, no, all good. Fantastic results at the weekend and can't wait to chat through it all.
Yeah, love that. And Paul, how are you, mate? Good to see you yesterday.
Yeah, good to be back watching some football again, despite the windy city of Bromley.
Yeah,
just about warmed up now.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it, to be honest? But yeah, do we have any comments in the chat yet, Laura?
Kevin saying evening peeps, Lisa saying evening all, and Chris Wells is saying evening all as well.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So yeah, we'll get started. Obviously, the first game back after the international break against London City Lionesses. I'm not going to lie, I thought I was at a concert with Jules Holland halfway through that game because all they kept playing, the brass band was out, everything. It was like night at the proms. But we'll talk about the game. Fair play to them. It's a long way to travel from South London. So I'll start with you, Paul, because you was at the game. Kind of, obviously, we saw the lineup, didn't we? And there was a couple of changes, wasn't there, that we thought, oh, that's an interesting one. Obviously, I think we questioned on the show last time it was Frieda or Pullover, and Renee went with Frieda, didn't she?
Yeah, it was. Obviously, a couple of the changes were enforced since our last game, with the likes of Caitlin and Steph being still at the Asian Cup. So yeah, Frieda got the nod in the 10 role, and to be fair, she did make 3 or 4 good challenges and won the ball back. Passing wasn't fantastic, but then I don't think it was by any of the players on either team really. The wind was having that effect on the game, and then obviously at the back we were saying it was going to be Leah and Lotta for that one, and then Borba got the nodding goal. So yeah, a few changes, but yeah, they got the job done.
Cool. Just want to say hi to some people in the chat. There's some new people there, so please remember to hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot and only takes a couple of seconds. And if I can do it and Austin can do it, then we all can do it. Right. Laura, I'll come to you. Obviously, carrying on. We know how much you love to chat about Frieda Mornham. Was you surprised? Was you surprised that she started? Because I remember chatting to Sam before the game. It just seems like, I think for the rest of the season, Frieda's getting the nod ahead of Pullover for whatever reasons. I'm not sure, but can you understand why Renee went that way?
Yeah, simply because Pullover hasn't really quite kicked on this season either. Look, it's such a shame because before obviously Palova did her ACL, then she was really coming into form at Arsenal, and unfortunately that nasty injury happened, and then she obviously doesn't come back the same player, and yeah, this will be so hard for people to accept me saying this, but obviously Frida Marum then is obviously one step ahead of Vicky Palova coming into that midfield, and believe it or not, she's probably the better choice of the two of them at the moment. But
it's not much of a choice, I am granted.
yeah,
but,
I was going to say that there. That there's not much of a choice. We can't do anything about it. We can't bring anybody in. We can't this is obviously just going to be what Arsenal have to deal with going forward for the rest of the season, and it's a hard one because Frida Marum, we all know the player that she can be. We've seen it previous seasons where she's been really, really good, and then she just has this massive dip, and she finds it so hard to find the confidence to get that game back. And yeah, for me, that's just where my frustration lies with Frida, unfortunately, for this season. But I genuinely did think she had a really good game yesterday.
did you actually?
What an exciting game! She had a good game, where to the point she was.
I was the opposite. I thought she was awful.
You were you could see it obviously in person.
Well, I couldn't. got you there, didn't I?
Put my foot in that one. I do
boys back, don't worry.
You could say the same to me about my ears, but I would. But yeah, she just doesn't excite me. I kind of scave over when I see her name. I'm just kind of like, do you know what? She's there. I can't do anything about. I'm only a supporter. I personally can't go there and be like, do you know what? Can we take her out? But yeah, Frida frustrates the life out of me, and I think very many people know that.
Yeah, cool. Really loving all the new comments. I knew he would come out the woodworks. Gav, good to see you, mate. Obviously, that was such a hard game that you had to play in the Subway Cup final yesterday against a very, very blunt Man United team. So congratulations, mate. Because like I said, if we knock you out the Champions League, very, very special show for you, mate. Very special.
Yeah,
Jason Cundy's got nothing on me.
Has not won the first trophy of the season, love. Just remember, what did we win, folks? What did Arsenal ladies win? You haven't won the first trophy of the season. Back in your box.
But like I said, Jason Cundy will be nothing on me, Gav. So don't worry. It's all working on it. And yeah, good to see everyone in the chat. Kev as well. Catherine. I think it's Lewis. If I've said that wrong, I'm sorry. But that's how my voiceover reads it out. But yeah, obviously the new people, please hit that subscribe button. And yeah, it's funny you lot trying to see Laura not trying to laugh, but I can hear it. So it's trying to still ask the professional question to Laura. That's why I've done it. That's what I'm here for. Giggles, humour, and all that.
Sorry, George, to interrupt you again. He just said the fake version of the Club World Cup. So does that mean that the trophy your men won at the start of the season is also fake?
Come on, leave them alone. They've got to guard the ball and respect the ball. Like, remember, there's a lot of pressure respecting that ball before the start of a game. I'm not gonna lie, Gab. That's the worst. That's the worst crap. It's the worst crap I've ever heard in something to do with football. I know that's men's football, but when I heard that, I was like, mate, what am I? What is this geezer on? But anyway, Ravi, I know you didn't really watch much of the game, but obviously there's a lot of talk as we'll go through the game. Obviously, Russo started through the middle, but then she went back into that 10 role, and Stina Blackstenius came on, got the goal. Kind of we've spoken about it loads of times, but do you think that is probably our best option going forwards in them sort of games, like when the defence is a bit more rigid, because obviously Stina's got that pace when she's not offside. I was being nice the whole time. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
I think, it is an option, but I don't think it's the only option. I think there are other things we can do. I mean, we could potentially drop, keep Russo up front and go into a bit more of a balanced 3 in midfield, and just let, say, the likes of Kim Little, Mariona go a little bit further forward. Maybe Palova sits deeper. Maybe Karakuni Cross, when she's back in the squad, sits a little bit deeper. Like, we do have other options than just this almost like choreographed at the hour mark, at the 75-minute mark, make these substitutions and change formations in this way, because the more you do that, the more teams are going to predict it and like adjust themselves so that when we do make those changes, they're already prepared for us to do it, or they know what to do to react to it. That we should be keeping things a little bit more fresh. Maybe switching up every now and again and trying something new is where I kind of like land with this sort of like thinking, like when you look at the times that we made the subs, like Palova coming on at the hour mark, Blackstenius coming on at the hour mark, Mead coming on 72 minutes, Hines and Kadina coming on 85th minute to shore up the game. Like, you could have told me before the game those would be the subs, and I probably could have given you the timestamps. I just think it's becoming a little bit predictable now, and smarter teams than LCL will figure that out. And the more variety we have in the game and the options that we put on, I just think it's just going to be better for us. So I don't think it's the only option, but I think it's currently the best of the possible options.
I have just had a Chris Kamara moment though, because now this explains why we were singing about Kadina. Because I just thought randomly we were just singing about her because we were bored. I didn't actually realise. I didn't actually realise she'd come on. So that explains a lot. But I was just like, I think I said to someone near me, "Why are we singing about Kadina?" But then I couldn't have been bothered to listen to their reply, to be honest. So that explains a lot. It's just like Paul would tell you, like where we were standing, it was really windy and you couldn't hear the announcement thing, really, could you? Like when they was announcing the subs. So that's my excuse.
No, I think that was the worst tannoy system I've had the pleasure of not listening to.
I think it says it all when we were singing, "You're just a shit meadow park."
Yeah,
that's like, I think that's what done it for me, and I was like, oh, that's an insult. That's an insult.
I mean, they were playing in the same league about 2 years ago, so
Yeah. I did shout at Michelle that we beat a Leon team on the way to winning Champions League. I don't know if that went down that well, but yeah. James, I'll come to you. Obviously, talking about the Stina role, obviously, it doesn't work, does it? Like against the same team every week. So I think a bit like what Ravi was saying, you want to freshen it up. You don't want to be making the same decisions each time, but mixing it up, and then obviously having Livy Smith being able to play in that position when probably Mead and Kelly are both fit, and if Ford comes back, is a nice option to have, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I was fortunate enough. I managed to catch a good bit of the first half before I had to go back to work the other day, but Laura ended up texting me the results. So I watched the highlights of the second half. I think all in all, seeing the lineup, who was playing, who was on the bench, as Ravi says, it's predictable as it was. It was it's only options we had. But once everybody's back, we cross the fingers and say fit. It is Arsenal after all. It's a nice option. It is a nice option to be able to say, even to give like Russell a break. No have to go, well, we need something like that. basically go into wrestling, go, listen, playing London City or we're playing West Ham, whoever it is at the bottom of the league, you can take this weekend off, chill out, relax, get a bit of recovery behind you, and we've got others there. For me, I know everybody in this group, everybody in the podcast, everybody in the group calls me the dinosaur when I say I like to see more attacking. So I understand against, like I said, going to that kind of ground, it's a small, tight, compact ground. So I think what we done on Sunday was the right way to go. But maybe next, like the West Ham next week, maybe, I know we don't like seeing Stina start a lot, but she seems to be nabbing the goals in it. Gear a shot. I just sort of, as we say, mix it up a bit. I think that's part of Stina's issue as well, is we've been that impact sub.
Yeah.
And she's been impact sub that long now. It's the only role she knows how to play. She doesn't know how to play the main striker.
Yeah. Cool. Evening, Darren. No, I wasn't talking about Livy Smith, mate. I thought she scored the first one, Darren. That's fine. You didn't listen to the whole thing I said either, Darren. So yeah. But obviously going into the goals, obviously Paul, we got like an early goal, didn't we? Like, obviously with Livy Smith, she's in quite a good run of form, isn't she? Like obviously her form from before the international break has carried over. It's a very, very nice problem to have. Wherever you play Livy Smith, she's absolutely so effective. And I saw a stat that I think Livy Smith got fouled the most out of any player in yesterday's game, which is not a surprise. But do you think she needs? I don't like to be one of those fans that's saying stuff about protection from the referee, but I think she probably does need a little bit more protection from officials because of how often she's getting taken out. But she obviously was still effective with scoring.
Yeah, I mean the opposition players don't know really what to do with her, do they? She's on such a good run of form, and the only thing they can do is keep fouling her, and trying to sort of rile her up to get the odd yellow card, or obviously as we saw a few weeks ago, picked up that red card. Was that in the Man United Subway Cup game? I think it was. But yeah, she's one of those players that she could just do with a little bit of more protection from the officials. But saying that, she's a world-class player at the moment. She is every week. She's turning up. She's putting in that performance. We've said it many times. We've got these world-class players in the team, but you've got to do it week in, week out to prove you are world-class, not just a good player. And at the moment, she is one of those players.
But they're important goals, though, as well, aren't they, Laura? Like, obviously, if you're in a game when you're 2-3-0 up, obviously any goal is important, but she's the one who normally sets the standard with it, or we've seen some absolute bangers from her as well, hasn't she? So she's quite a big game player.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't think Olivia Smith has reached her full potential at Arsenal as of yet. And something, looking at her at this moment in time, still chipping away and obviously learning new things, and she's still popping up in places that's important for Arsenal. And yeah, I think Olivia Smith is at Arsenal, and an Arsenal shirt, going into maybe next season where she's progressed a little bit and she knows obviously how Arsenal play. Maybe it might be different next season, obviously with a lot of changes coming in, that there might be a player in there that's going to better Olivia Smith even better than what she is. But Olivia Smith is she's just a very young, exciting player, and as you say, she's popping up in these important moments for Arsenal at the moment, and in scoring the goals. Some aren't exciting as some of the other ones that she scored for us, but when Olivia Smith is on that pitch, for a fact she's going to get a goal. We put our predictions in every week, and if Olivia Smith is starting, it's one of those things for a fact you're going to either have her as an assist or a goal. And yeah, she's always there in the right important times, Olivia Smith.
Yeah. Question: do we think we're going to retain the Champions League? Of course we are. Yeah, that's your confidence. Next question. But yeah, to be
Very,
honest,
very confident.
to be fair, I have to be confident. I think it's the year for Arsenal to win trophies. So, but no, I think the Chelsea game, obviously, naturally, is going to be a really, really hard game. But then when you get to the semi-finals, what you never know, do you? Also, hi to Mac, I think it is. Hope I've got that right. Hope you're okay. Yeah, so kind of carrying on the point, Ravi, with Livy Smith. It's like what Laura said, like she's not even reached her full potential. So we're kind of waxing lyricals about her now. Like she kind of her ceiling is endless, isn't it? Like we've got to think of, obviously she's going to be the regular winger going forward, especially with this rebuild. But where do you think kind of she can reach to? Do you think she's world class at the moment, or do you think it's a bit soon to say that?
I'd probably say it's a bit soon to say that. I think any team would love to have her in their squad. I don't necessarily think that she's one of those players yet who you could like put her into any team in their sort of like starting position and say that's their best winger. I think she's getting there, and in a couple of years we could be having that conversation about her. But there is, I think, one thing that she's had to really adjust to by coming to Arsenal is the fact that she doesn't have to do everything by herself anymore. Like when she was at Liverpool, she had to do things herself. She was by far the best player at the team, by a considerable margin. Like she is a great talent. And that's why we paid the money that we did for her. And I just think if she continues on this path, she's absolutely going to be one of the best players in the world. Potentially the best player in the world if she can get a level of consistency every single game at such a high level. And she is on the way to doing that. And like this isn't me trying to sort of like downplay her abilities or anything like that. Like she is very, very, very good. But I just think maybe she needs the additional support. Maybe she needs the knowledge and ability that she doesn't need to do things herself all the time. Even though it does seem like when we do get goals and assists, like Laura said, like it's always her name on that score sheet. So yeah, I just think there is potential. She is on the way there at the moment, and like it's very clear for everyone to see. I just think, getting those consistent performances every single game is the first step, and then getting the support around her as well to make sure that she is shining and that she doesn't have to do things by herself, because otherwise she's just going to have 2 or 3 players marking her every single game, kicking the life out of her, and that's probably not the best way to develop. And obviously that comes with the risk of injuries as well. So hopefully we do give her that support in the coming years, and she can develop into one of the best players in the world.
Yeah. James, obviously moving on to the second goal, obviously, like we said earlier, we saw Alessia Russo slot back into that number 10 role while Stina came on. To be honest, LCL couldn't deal with Stina when she come on, could they? Like it was such a struggle for that LCL defence to try and maintain Stina, and then obviously she just broke through, got the goal, which was a good finish. But that's what she offers you, doesn't it? When you're playing, when you've got that option to bring back Stenius on.
Yeah, I mean, Stina's she's always one of those ones. As we say, we know we kind of make the jokes on here. You need to give Stina 10 chances till she scores a goal. But she's always one of those ones. She gets herself in and around those positions. Time and time again. And at the weekend there proved once again, if you put the not so much if you put the ball to her, but if you put her in that position, 9 times out of 10, Stina's got either her full foot on it, a toe or a header, and it's more often than not, it's hitting the back of that net.
Oh, she's offside.
Stina's one of those ones for me. It's going to be a case you don't know what you've got until it's gone with Stina, and it's only when Stina eventually leaves that Arsenal fans who do come out more often than not against Stina and go, "Oh, we prefer Russo or we prefer now Olivia Smith," that are going to look back and go, "You know what? We had a really good striker there, and we've let her go." And as she's getting on in the years, I get where Russo and stuff are going to take over for her, but she's still one of those pivotal. If you need a goal in a game, stick Stina on that part. And she's not going to be the one to get you the goal. She's going to cause enough havoc in that defensive line that somebody else is going to nip in to get it.
Yeah, cool. Hi Rosie, hope you're right. And also hello to wonderful horseshoe. Sorry, and that was a tongue twister. So it said up the Geordie. So assuming you're a Newcastle fan. But if you are, tell us how your women's team's doing. It'd be good to get another person's thoughts on how they're doing. Because to be honest, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't really get to watch much of the WSL2, so that'd be interesting. Cool. I'm gonna go, Paul. I'll go to you, obviously, because one of the surprise things that we was talking about was when we saw the goalkeeper decision with Borba playing instead of Van Donselaar. Was that much of a surprise for you, as much as it was for me, or do you think it's just trying to get Daphne back into like taking our time with obviously the injuries she's had? Obviously, we've had international breaks for everyone. Or what was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't want to rush Daphne back when we've got some important games coming up, and we have got two really good goalkeepers in the squad there. But you sometimes have to question: is Daphne at full fitness yet? She's obviously ready to be called on, otherwise she wouldn't be in the match day squad. But this was London City. We've got West Ham next week, and then we've got that small game against Chelsea after that. So we don't want to risk any injuries before that Chelsea game. And if there is somebody like Daphne that's not quite there yet, I'd rather let her have an extra week to get her fitness back. Obviously, we saw with Beth getting those few minutes at the end yesterday as well. So it's going to be interesting if they're both 100% fit and they're both doing well in training, who's actually going to start getting the nod in goal in the future, and is it going to be, well, we're going to play Daphne in the Champions League and Borba in the league, or I don't know what her thinking is going to be there moving forwards. But it is really good to see that we have got these two goalkeepers that it doesn't matter which one's on the pitch, I feel confident with them being in goal. Whereas in other recent seasons, when you've got your one goalkeeper, you think, yeah, brilliant, and then you see maybe your number two goalkeeper, you're like, oh dear, you just feel less confident. So it's just good to have that strength at the back there.
Cool. And wonderful horseshoe said about Newcastle, they drew at the weekend. Are you close to promotion? If so, just let us know. Great, thank you for getting involved as well.
I know one of their players at the moment. Obviously, I don't know. She's injured at the moment. Leah Cataldo.
Okay.
He's, I think, about the only new cat, and obviously Jordan Nobbs. Obviously. So.
Yeah. Cool.
It'd be interesting to hear this.
Reese has said about Smith's celebration, and what would our celebration be? What would my celebration be? Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't. I'm a bit of an idiot, Reece. So I'd probably, if I scored the winner, I'd probably like do like a Roman Reigns spear into the away end, like or something like that. Why score the winner against Chelsea? Put the hands up to be acknowledged. So right in front of Basil. Something like that. We'll quickly go round. Ravi, what would your celebration be if you scored a winner?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm very one for the simple ones. So like, I'd love like a Thierry Henry-esque like knee slide, like just like one that glides. You know what I mean? I'd love to do something
in front of the
like,
Millwall fans. Yeah.
My knees would give out midway through it, but like.
But yeah, I like that question, Reece. People in the chat, that I know there's some people in there, drop what your celebration would be as a winner. James, what would your celebration be?
Oh, celebration is good. I think it would depend on the competition that I scored the winner in. If it was a league game, probably the same as Rab, something simple like a knee slide. But if it was a winner in a cup final, I think you've got to go out. The shirt would be off, straight into the away end.
Yeah.
Egging the fight on, seeing who would come after you. You've got to go bananas with a cup final celebration.
That wouldn't be a good scene.
Well, what you both could do is do a celebration right in front of the away end and just put your hand over your ear, because they'll.
I was going to go. I can't remember the player that done it. They run the full length pitch to the other side, to the away end, and they go and slide. But I don't know if my lung capacity would take me to the halfway line. Never mind.
Laura, what about yours?
I could do a Supermax diving counter and go and kick the corner flag and annoy some people, because you should get a fine for doing that.
Yeah,
so you should.
Yeah. Right. Paul, what would your celebration be?
It'd be something in front of the opposing fans, some sort of something to sort of wind them up.
Yeah, I just actually thought what my one would be, actually. In front of the away ends and do a John Cena, you can't see me.
I was going to say, would you do you can't see me?
So yeah, that would probably be me. But yeah, I love that. I love that question, Reece. Reece is the man who drops all the best questions in the chat. Do we have any comments on celebrations, Laura?
Reece says wheezing and calling for a stretcher.
Yeah.
Ryan says James would whip off his Celtic shirt and reveal a Celtic tattoo. Lol. Kev
I think we'd all pass out if that happened.
What?
I said I think we'd all pass out if that happened.
Yeah. Good old Celtic talk. Kev says scored an equaliser once in a cup match and ran round my penalty.
I thought he was a goalkeeper. Why?
Last minute winner at the corner, innit?
He ran like
it's like Jimmy Glass all over Carlisle.
Yeah. Catherine said I'd have to do a snow angel, since I do them when we win anyway, if there's snow.
Definitely. Yeah, it'd have to be. All right, cool. Yeah, I appreciate that minor digression into celebration. Dan, you might see some if the men win the league from me, so just pre-warning you. Cool. Right, we've wrapped that one up. We'll talk about, actually, just before we move on to the West Ham game, Paul, do you want to talk about the goalkeeping thing while we was just talking about Borba and stuff? What you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, so obviously we've spoken about it a few times, the goalkeepers going down with their fake injuries for time wasting and tactical changes. But in the America, for the start of the new season, they've actually brought in a new rule for goalkeepers. So to get it correct, in the event of a goalkeeper injury during any NWSL match, players from both teams may not approach their team's technical areas. Players must either remain in the area where they were located when play was stopped, or gather on their team's side of the midfield centre circle. If players approach the technical area during a stoppage for the goalkeeper injury, the team and or head coach may be subject to discipline. So I'm guessing from that they're hoping to stop the goalkeepers going down, wasting time, slowing play down and everything, which I'd be interested to see if it does work.
Hannah Hampton ain't gonna know what to do with herself, is she?
Mark Skinner's fuck next season if that comes in next season.
Yeah, I reckon it will come in over here next season. And to be honest, it does need to. So it will just stop all these silly stoppages, and hopefully the games will flow a little bit better than they do now.
I'll be honest, I read that next the other day, but you've just read it, and seeing that edit, it is the first rule of football that has come out in sod knows how long that actually makes a bit of sense. I couldn't agree more with it. As much as I get certain points trying to pass messages, but when that came out, it was like absolute ball in the money. It might affect us a little bit sometimes. That is going to put so much more towards stop. I do say that I've magically get cramp even though I've not done anything for the last 30 minutes. Is a fantastic rule and the first one in a long time to come in that actually is going to hopefully benefit football.
Yeah, definitely.
We saw it against Man United, didn't we, in the Liga just a few weeks ago? The amount of times she went down in that box in the last sort of 15 to 20 minutes of the game just kept stopping us. We were on top the whole time, and it just kept stopping our play. We would have gone on to win that game if it hadn't been for that, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know Catherine has said that she watched it and it seemed to work all right in the first NWSL game. So, yeah, it'd be good to keep an eye on that to see how it goes like throughout the season. I don't know where you can watch that over here. I don't know if you guys know.
I think it's mostly like Paramount Plus and stuff you can watch it on. NWSL you can watch
Paramount Plus and I think Apple TV as well. They've got so many games.
Okay. Because I know they're putting the MOS on Apple TV, aren't they, for free? So I think someone told me that yesterday, so I think that's starting soon. So hopefully, same with NWSL. Cool. Going on to previewing the West Ham game. Obviously, Ravi, it's another game for the WSL. Kind of, we'd be hoping to get the victory there, wouldn't we? Especially, obviously, we've got a couple of games in hand, puts us in good stead if we win those games. I'm not doing what I've seen some people say with City dropping points on Villa. That don't interest me one bit because we are not. I said if we won the league, then that City manager deserves to be sacked. That's how much of a bottle job that is. And I won't hear the word bottle used for a team in North London. It'll be a team from a recycling centre in Manchester. We're not even in Manchester, Salford or wherever they are. So, but yeah, going on to West Ham, are you kind of confident going into that? And it's what I will say, it's a good game for people like Chloe Kelly to have, isn't it? It's back-to-back games.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great opportunity for us. I think we have a real golden opportunity with a couple of games in hand on Man City and one game in hand on United and Chelsea to really like stamp our authority and just say, look, we're not messing about. We are going to finish at least second. You never know with Man City's form, but like hopefully it falls off a cliff. But I think these are the games where we just need to put down a marker and just say we are the reigning world champions, European champions, and we are winning this game by any means necessary, and not by like 1 or 2 goals, and we sit back and just absorb some pressure from there on. Then, we go there and we score 3, 4, 5 goals, and put down the mark and say we're not messing around anymore. We are this good, and we will show it every single week. And this is kind of the perfect game to do it. Like West Ham battling relegation, like it's not been a great season for them. Like I just think we have the opportunity here, so we might as well go and take it. The rest of the other teams in and around us are playing each other at some point soon, so we need them to put pressure on themselves by putting ourselves in the best position possible. And these are the games where we can do that.
Yeah. Just want to say evening, Mark. Great to have you on. Hope you're doing okay and had a good weekend. When did Australia play again? Let us know. He said City are missing their Japanese player, Asagawa. Thought they had the best midfielder in the world in Sam Coffey, though. But yeah, I'll leave that there. Kind of carrying on, obviously, James, talking about Chloe Kelly. We've spoke about it on last show. As the song goes, when she's running down the wing, scoring goals makes the Arsenal sin, apparently. So we'd like to be seeing that a little bit more, wouldn't we? She's had a couple of games now. Do you think this is where she needs to step up with like her game-changing ability that we know she can do because we've seen it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit hard with Chloe Kelly. I mean, it's injuries this season as well has kind of hampered her a bit. Her season's been a bit stop-start. And hopefully, gear her in her games, I think she can come good again. As you say, we know she definitely can do. I think this would be the opportunity for her. Obviously, Beth Mead's just kind of obviously coming back. Obviously, so she's got that chance there. I think the bigger pitch this weekend, I think, would be her stride. The home fans are behind her. Turn it, as you say, to be able to turn it on. Whether she does or not is the big question. I think she will. I'd like to gear the back and hope she does, but I think if she doesn't start to turn it on soon, we could maybe start seeing her possibly being that Stina Blackstenius sub in the midfield. The impact sub, you'll be played when we need you, but there'll be others that will be taking the main spotlight.
Yeah, I always like, even when we have fully fit players, and like I'm hoping next summer, I still see her as like our third option on the wing. I don't see her like, obviously Olivia Smith on one side and Beth on the other. I still see her as a squad option. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I think she can be. See, she was consistent. If it was consistent, then she could be the starter. But that is the problem with her. She's no consistent. It's as if the big games and the big occasions bring it out of her more. When it comes to like that, the smaller games, not to say West Ham is such as a small game, but against that sort of lower end opposition, it's like, no, I don't really need to try as hard. I don't need to do as much. Whereas against like say Champions League, your Lyons, your Barcelonas and stuff, it's this is the big stage, this is the prime time. I'm going to show my excellence. If she carried that on week in, week out, then I think she'd be more of a starter. But I think you're right. If we do, especially the way we're talking with this summer being the potential of the big transfer and the big switch around in areas, I think we will see her go more as a squad player rather than starting 11er.
Yeah. I will say though, apparently, I've just recorded it, but she's got a team on Ballers FC, so we'll see how good they are. Chloe Kelly. So
Ryan will be happy with that.
she ain't putting up a Christmas tree yet, so don't worry. If she starts running around with an Easter egg, then I'll have an issue. Laura, obviously, coming to you, obviously about the game, are you confident? Would there be any changes you would make to just try and mix it up? Because I think there's players who are not like 100% fit or in the best of form, so these games are quite important, aren't they?
Yeah, I think going forward, every game at the moment is important now, especially this half of the season. Like it's do or die for Arsenal, really, isn't it? To get that. If City aren't going to drop any points, then of course we're going for that second spot. Which of course at the start of the season, if you would have said that Arsenal, we all thought Arsenal were going to win the league, but obviously not. If Arsenal were going to get second the way we started off the season, then we would have been laughing at you. But I think West Ham aren't exactly playing the best of football this season. I don't really know what's going on there at West Ham. They've got a handful of good players in there. We know, obviously, with the striker that they have, we've seen what she can do. They've signed decent players that you could say you would probably say they would put up a good fight against the top teams, but they just haven't seemed to have been doing that this season. So I am confident going into the game. What I don't think we have really said previously against West Ham. We have really struggled against West Ham in previous seasons, especially when it comes to Meadow Park. But obviously we're not at Meadow Park, we're at home, but I think West Ham are really, really going to struggle against us, especially with how big that pitch is. It's not going to be a comfortable ride for them. But yeah, as Ravi said, I think we really need to kick on and get the goals. And if it does come down to the last couple of games of the season where it could tip us to win the league, then make sure goal difference is really high, because that could potentially be something that could tip us to that title. But yeah.
No, I agree there. Like, I think you're right though, Laura, what you said about their players, and that they've got players like someone like Shakira Martinez was always someone I kept an eye on, because I wouldn't have minded her as sort of a backup as for Russo. So say like if Blackstenius did decide she wanted to play week in, week out, which you couldn't blame her if she wanted to, but I wouldn't have been dead against Martinez as that option. But this season she's not. You still see the quality, but I don't know, is that more on her, or is that playing in a team that's playing as bad as West Ham currently are?
I know in December she wanted to move away from West Ham, so obviously she never got it because she's still there. So I don't know if her attitude at the moment is, well, I asked for a move away from this club and I never got it. Something fell through. So we've seen it. I've seen it in Scottish football, particularly this season, where players have asked to leave and they've not got that. So their attitude basically is, well, do you know what? I don't really want to be here, so I'm not going to play. We have seen it at Arsenal with certain players that their attitude is, well, I know I'm off at the end of the season. You haven't renewed my contract. I won't play to my full potential. And I essentially think that's what's going on with Martinez, that she just gave the attitude of, I wanted away.
Yeah, I agree. Mark has said that Australia are playing in Perth tonight against China, so the 3 Arsenal girls are all expected to start, so that's good.
It'll be a very, very tough game for them.
Yeah, and Kyra's apparently back to playing her best, so that's good for Australia, good for Arsenal generally, and like just good for her. Like obviously with everything going on, so we'll keep an eye on how that goes. Paul, obviously, kind of finishing up before we do the predictions for this game. Are you expecting the same sort of team as Sunday, or do you think they could rotate it just a tiny little bit? Not that they really need to, but could you see maybe Russo in the 10 and Smith through the middle if they're trying to give Beth some more minutes?
I don't think so in this particular one. I think they'll keep that maybe for the Chelsea game because it's worked so well against City. I think if we do it too often, teams are going to suss us out with that one. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see potentially Frida on the bench and try and maybe start Vicky in that number 10 role against West Ham. Just try and get her back into the game a little bit, potentially maybe even Holmberg at right back, so that we're not overplaying Emily Fox as well for that one. But I mean, teams like West Ham at the moment, watching West Ham and Leicester play, it's almost, I feel that they feel partially safe with the not a guaranteed relegation. So they're not
Well, they've
really
got a playoff game, haven't they, as well? So even
exactly.
if they finish bottom.
So they finish bottom and they think, oh, okay, we've just got to win one game at the end of the season and we'll stay up, which isn't really the attitude to have. But yeah, when you watch a few of their games, that's sort of almost the way it's looking. And of course, West Ham have got a game on Wednesday night at home to Man United as well.
Yeah.
So they're going to go into the game with only sort of 3 or 4 days rest, whereas we'll have the full week.
Yeah, no, I get that. Cool. We'll go with the predictions. James, what's your score prediction, scorer?
I'm gonna. I'll go for 3-0.
Yeah.
I think we'll get. I think we'll get a wee bit luckier than what we did against London City, but I'm not expecting too much of a charge. I think West Ham will still give that sort of packed back line that people find hard to break down. But I think we've got another game under our belt since internationals. Another wee week working the creeks and the kinks out. So I'll go away 3-0 and none of the actual strikers seem to be doing it, so we'll go with Olivia Smith for the goal.
Cool. He just wants the points, that's why it is. Laura, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna go 4-0, simply because
Don't do that to me.
Obviously in the transfer there recently as well, West Ham let one of their decent defenders go, so I think that's also one of their downfalls as well. I'm trying to remember the girl's name. Who was the one that scored the headers against us at Meadow Park?
Oh, no, it's gone.
The name's gone. I'll need to.
Not Gary, is it?
No, Gorey.
No.
Katrina Gorey's a midfielder.
Oh, okay.
It'll come to me. Let me look it up and then I'll let you know. But they've obviously let her go, and she was one of the ones that kept West Ham's defence really tight at the back. Tissiak. Yes,
Oh,
Kevin.
okay, yeah.
Tissiak. They've let Tissiak go, so
Yeah.
So
which is a big loss for them.
Yeah, really big loss for them. How they let her go is beyond me, but yeah.
Cool. Ravi, what's your prediction and go for?
I'd like it to be a high scoring game, but I can just see it being like a 2-0 solid performance kind of thing. I think I reckon Chloe Kelly will bag one.
They start watching the podcast, don't she?
I think playing what I think almost a lot of this game at least. I'm not sure if she got subbed off or not. No, she played the full 90. I think playing the full 90 here might give her a little bit of confidence. Might give her a little bit of impetus to go and get on the score sheet as well.
Cool. Paul, what are you going for?
I'm going to go for a 3-0. I think we'll get the job done. A little bit more than we did yesterday, but I can't see us overexerting ourselves. Get it to a solid 3-0, knowing that we've then got that midweek game in the week. You don't want to pick up any silly injuries, silly bookings, that sort of thing, going in towards the end of the season. So, yeah, just a straightforward 3-0, job done. All three in the first half. Olivia Smith hat-trick.
Nice. I hope that happens in my fantasy team. So that I've not looked at for about 3 months. So I don't even know who's in it, to be honest. Cool. I'm gonna go for 4-0. I think it'll be Mario, 2 for Lessie, and just for vibes in the See You Later tour, Katie McCabe. I think she'll just run for the fans. So I think she'll probably get a goal. Cool. Just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. It's been absolutely mental, but in a good way. In the chat, we've had some really good comments and good interaction and some new people. So that's really, really good. Thank you for that. Just want to say thank you to my guests. So James, thank you as always, mate.
Pleasure, mate. Always happy to be here, and I'm not the most insightful of people when it comes to talking about it, but I'll always give my opinion and give you a good giggle in the process.
I think that's just because half the time they don't know what you're saying.
I've always got that on my benefits for any time I say something that.
I tell you, I'm getting good with it, like that accent.
In the comments, a show of hands of people who does understand James.
Well, I think it's been like a bit of like a college course for me. So obviously talking to you guys, Mel, Hannah, and a few other people with Scottish accents, so I kind of understand a bits of it now. So I'm getting there. Cool. Paul, thank you as well. Are you at the game on Saturday?
Unfortunately not. These Saturday games, work just gets in the way.
Yeah.
It's real pain. If we could give up work, it would be wonderful. But yeah, I'm missing this one, and unfortunately missing the North London derby as well.
Oh, mate. We'll all have to turn into KSI and start playing FIFA and then earn more money like that.
Paul. Can we put Paul on the list?
We need to get the list alert thing from Ryan. I think because that's something I want to do next season. There's going to be an Arsenal women's list, and all of us will probably end up on it. I'll probably be on it, so don't worry about it.
You'll be the first name on it.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not like that, I'll be disappointed.
We'll become with no Tariq.
Yeah,
we'll call you Tariq, so we will.
As I say, you can't call me Garner Nick because I don't win anything hardly in the giveaway. So,
You won a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that was the only one I've ever won, like in my whole life. Like, I went to the Tolly the other day for the Rachel Yankee Foundation stuff. Didn't win nothing, absolutely nothing. I only wanted to win something because I wanted. There was a signed Chloe Kelly top, and I was really wanted Dorian to win it. Because that would have made my night if Dorian had won the signed Chloe Kelly top. Would have been brilliant, but didn't happen. So, Ravi, thank you as well, mate. Thanks for coming. I know you had a bit of a rush, but always appreciated.
Yeah, always love being here. So no problem at all.
And he's going to start. He'll start giving out autographs in his block from the next game he's at. So, we're going to start getting. We're going to have to send some of Block 10 over to be your entourage, I think. And then Laura, say best till last. Thank you for everything. Thanks for setting up the shows. Thanks for just being you and helping with everything.
You're very welcome. Always a pleasure to help you and make sure there's a show. So there is. Even though you didn't answer me straight away, I just knew to come on and just make your show up anyway. So. Yeah.
To be fair, I saw your message and then I was typing say yeah, and then you sent the link, so it was done. So I was like, why bloody ask? But yeah, so no, I appreciate it. Cool. So obviously, please subscribe to the channels that you see on here. So that's the Arsenal Women Chat Show, the Mr. Arsenal Podcast, and Hyperfans Forever. Loads of different content and shows that go on over there. Watch along on the other two channels for the men tomorrow. Big game. I know Liam and G are smashing it on Thursday with a Cannon and friend. I think it's a cup final one. because like some of our teams gather in proper cup finals, not foot-long ones. Yeah, so obviously please stay and look at all the channels. We won't have a show this Friday, obviously, because we previewed it here, but we will have our watch along on Saturday. The last watch along was really good, so I had over 1,000 people. So can't complain. If you all subscribe, we'll be happy with that. So yeah, all take care. Have a lovely week and good night. And come on, you Gunners.